Good afternoon. This is Sydney's on the Clock. We are located on Coursey Boulevard, Old Barbecue. Today we'll be discussing Sid's big news. Also,
that sounds like not Chris. You just wanted to tell them big news. You have to tell them what we're doing the rest of the show first.
Okay. Let's get it.
Okay.
So we're talking about the Caitlin Clark situation, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves. We're also talking about College Football 25 and Simone Augustus news. Mm-hmm. So Sid, starting off, you have some big news, Sid.
I do have some big news. So, hi guys. Of course, this is Sydney Couye with none other than Sydney's on the Clock. And I have great news. A little bittersweet, if we're being 100% honest, because it means that I won't be with Chris. I'll be with him virtually through a phone, through a webinar. But I am actually leaving. I'm sorry, it just becomes a little bit too real whenever you say it out loud. But I am leaving Louisiana because I was offered an internship at ESPN. So I will be moving to Bristol, Connecticut, just for a little bit. This is only a little duration.
Oh, yeah.
This is not long time. Sydney will definitely be on the clock. Okay, let's make sure we get that situated and we get that understood. So I will be serving as a Roden Fellow at ESPN headquarters in Bristol, Connecticut this summer. So I will be leaving Baton Rouge. And I'm very excited. I can't say I'm extremely excited because this is honestly something I've wanted for so long and I've worked for it for so long. And I feel like now this is me getting to that next step, starting here in the local market. I'm about to work for ESPN. I'm 20. That's insane.
Sid.
That's insane.
That's the beauty about it. Sometimes, God puts everything together. Mm-hmm. So what I'll tell you this is wherever he leads you with this, go with him with it. Mm-hmm. You never know where he's going to take you with sports or your different endeavors in your life. Mm-hmm. So always remember that.
Well, thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
But even though I think whenever I searched it in on the maps, it literally said I think I was a day and 44 minutes away. So even though I'll be completely on the other side of the country, that doesn't mean anything because Sydney's on the Clock will still continue. Will still be on air, which means that we'll be virtual. Chris will be here in Baton Rouge holding down the fort while I'm in Connecticut. So technically I'll be working 2 jobs. So just know I love y'all and I'm doing this for y'all because I'm going to be very tired and very exhausted, okay?
Yeah. But Sid, we wish you the best, Sid. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
So Sid, how did you get this internship?
Yeah, so really, honestly and truly, when I had first crossed into the sports space, I understood, especially in this day and age that we live in, internships are dire.
Even being at Southern.
Dire. And it's not even just about being at Southern. It's specifically for our field because there's not too many internships for sports broadcasting, period, or sports journalism because, our field is very select. And so I was looking through Google. I am a LinkedIn warrior if anybody knows anything about me. I live on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn probably 30 million times a day. And I came across something called the ESPN Roden Fellowship. And I actually applied last year when I was a sophomore. Wasn't supposed to apply because the fellowship was only offered for juniors and seniors. And I vividly remember going back and forth with the ESPN recruiter and the UNCF recruiters for the program. And I basically was stating my case. I was asked, can I still apply for the internship? They said no, because I wasn't a junior. I said, I don't care. I still want to apply. And they were like, no. And I said, I'm one of those people to where I don't take no for an answer, especially when I feel like I'm very deserving, or at least I can have something and it's in my grasp. So I really sat there and really argued them people down. And I was able to apply. The ESPN executive said I was okay to apply. Applied, made it to the final round, didn't get it. I was honestly and truly, I was grateful for the fact that I was even able to get to just apply in the first place as a sophomore. But then this next year around, whenever they brought in this new cohort, went through the interview processes again, the many multiple interviews, impressed a lot of people. They remembered me from the year beforehand. They were like, you were the girl who was very persistent. And I said, yeah, that's me. And honestly, I'm glad that they remembered me because now I'm moving to Bristol in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so everything is coming into fruition, Sid.
Thank you.
And I wish you nothing but the best.
And honestly and truly, I could talk about myself all day, but we have sports to talk about. So we will be right back after commercial break. Bye, guys.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
At the Team Automotive Group, we're turning Teacher Appreciation Week into a month-long celebration. Bring your teacher ID to any of our dealerships and save an additional $500 off of any new car purchase. It's our way of saying thanks for all you do in the classroom at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
We are back with Sydney's on the clock. Sid.
Yes.
What went wrong with the Nuggets and the Timberwolves? Because beforehand, they were up 20 points. But it kept trickling down. And a lot of the players for the Nuggets got tired. So what happened?
So for us to talk about what happened between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, I think a lot of people genuinely needs to know the backstory with the front offices of both the teams. So the reason the Nuggets became the team they are today that we know them as, especially them getting honestly the best player in the world, being able to be the defending champions, it was because of one guy, Tim Connolly.
Yep.
Tim Connolly was with the Nugget organization from 2013 to 2022. He got a better gig at the Timberwolves, where not only was he working in the front office, he became their team president. And he was instrumental into building the Timberwolves into who they are right now. Because the problem is that he 100% knew the Nuggets were a great team. He built the team. He was with them for about 10 years. He knew what he was doing. He wanted to build a bigger and better roster with the Timberwolves that can beat the Nuggets, and that's exactly what happened. The Nuggets, as we've seen, they do not have a bench. And it became very obvious going into the second half. Honestly and truly, it was a 1 versus 5 game. It was Nikola Jokic,
Jamal Murray
versus everybody.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm not even including Jamal Murray is because he showed up in the first half. He did not show up in the second. Whenever you have somebody like Nikola Jokic, who's the best player in the world, you literally have to build around him. So the fact that you only had your one other, I'm not going to call him a franchise player because he's not, but your one other asset to the team, which is Jamal Murray, who didn't show up in the second half. You had Aaron Gordon, who played not only 40 minutes, but he only had 4 points and 4 rebounds for 40 minutes. Michael Porter Jr., I don't know what happened with him.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with him at all. So when you have all those factors, of course, and you have a team, you have a player like Ant, who not only wants it, but the team wants it. They played as a team. I mean, I've never seen somebody sit there and guard Nikola Jokic like that the way Cat did that night. Nobody has come close to actually defending him like that.
I think it's also the adjustments that need to be made, because with Rudy Gobert on Nikola Jokic, he struggled. But once you put a guy that's his size like Cat, yes, he didn't come through a couple of those games, but he came through for this game with 23 points. So at the same time, they were ready for this moment, and the Nuggets, they were like deers in headlights, basically.
They were ready for this moment, but I'm telling you, it goes back to the fundamentals of the part. Everybody knew, the Timberwolves front office, they knew what they were doing, and I'm literally stressing this point because I genuinely don't think a lot of people realize this. You have your star player, Ant, doing what he needs to do, dropping 40, this, and that. But even whenever he wasn't dropping 40, he was setting up the assists, he was setting up the next plays, he was doing what he had to do. And then you not only have bigs, you have bigs between Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, and Cat. You literally have a mix of people who are offensive powerhouses and people who are defensive powerhouses. And then you have your players who a lot of people may be deemed underrated, but you have your players who are generally setting up, or like they're playing as a team. For instance, you have Mike Conley, one of the people who, honestly, if it really wasn't for him in the early season, they wouldn't be where they were, or were literally in the conference finals right now. They wouldn't. So one team wanted it more than the other, really what it came down to, because it came down to the wire. It was game 7. Both teams originally in the first half, we thought the Nuggets was just doing what they normally do. Until the Timberwolves showed up. You can't even get mad at it. If anything, I respect it.
But I'm gonna say this. Like, if Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr., they showed up earlier in the rounds, but during that moment, they were nowhere to be found. So maybe it need to be some change of adjustments, or maybe the ball need to be out of Nikola Jokic's hands so he can actually distribute the ball and they can actually put points on the board.
But look, we can sit here and talk about all day what could have, would have, should have happened, but at the end of the day, it's the Mavs versus the Timberwolves coming up tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
We'll be right back after a commercial break. It's not on commercial.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Embrace the luxury, safety, and comfort of Mazda with 0% financing at Team Mazda. Right now, get 0% financing on any new Mazda CX-5, Mazda CX-30, Mazda CX-50, or Mazda CX-90. The savings are here at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
You think this is...
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
At the Team Automotive Group, we're turning Teacher Appreciation Week into a month-long celebration. Bring your teacher ID to any of our dealerships and save an additional $500 off of any new car purchase. It's our way of saying thanks for all you do in the classroom at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
We are back with Sydney's on the clock. Sid.
Yes.
Caitlin Clark has been struggling, right? 10 turnovers. Yesterday she had 17 points, and she did a little bit better, right? Mm-hmm. So was Diana Taurasi right?
I feel like two things can be right at once, right? In this given situation, literally, I am quoted. If you go back on a couple of shows, I literally said Diana Taurasi was a little, what's the word?
Cheesed out?
Not cheesed out, but I'm going to say she was threatened a little bit by Caitlin Clark and a lot of these new rookies coming into the league. But seeing how Caitlin has been playing these few games, seeing not just her ability to put up points or lack of ability to put up points, because we're used to her dropping
30-foot bombs.
Exactly. Compared to now she's in the WNBA. She's not playing against 18-year-olds anymore. And seeing not just that, but still like her still having the same temper that she normally does, and seeing how she's struggling to translate from college to WNBA, I can say like I said, two things can be right at once. I think Diana Taurasi specifically, she was right in this instance where she was talking about the fact that it's going to be a rude and hard awakening for Caitlin Clark when she transitions. She's not used to playing with this level of competition. People, I think a lot of the time, people don't genuinely realize how, I'm not going to say international, but I'm going to say worldly the United States basketball systems are with the WNBA and the NBA. You literally have people who are coming from all over the world to play against each other, because this is where the money is in this country when it comes to basketball. Not necessarily for the women's, but we already know that's the case for the men's. So you're literally playing against the best players of the world. You're playing against seasoned players. I mean, not college, who's played against other professional women, other professional men. So in Caitlin's instance here, because we've seen she's had a bunch of turnovers, she also too, she stayed getting fouled. And not just that, even like you can still see she still has that same temper whenever she was in college. And honestly, I've seen it a lot more, maybe because I didn't necessarily realize it in college, but she's kind of a dirty player in a sense too. She definitely does a lot of cheat shots, especially whenever she played against her and Hamilton were going back and back whenever she was playing against the New York Liberty. I think it's just one of those things to where she's going to have to mature her game for her to get to that next point that she wants to get to.
I'm going to say, for me, I had some problems about that, because I had this sense of delusion. I was like, okay, Caitlin Clark is going to put up 30-foot bombs. She's going to make 30 points her first game. That was not the case. Bonner? Those type of players from Connecticut? Man. That was a rude awakening, Sid. And with Stewie, that I don't know what you call it in basketball, but basically it was a screen. It was a hard screen.
Whenever, the hard screen
too. And I was just like, nobody.
Whenever she fell straight on the floor.
Nobody helped her. And I was like, wow, what's going on?
Because you got to realize, it's one of those things where when you're a rookie into honestly anything, you kind of have to earn their respect. They don't care what you did back in college. You're not in college anymore. You're in the pros. You're in the big leagues. So think about it. When you have somebody who, I'm just thinking from the pro perspective. Yeah. When you have somebody who has only been playing about, or at least on like a elite level for about 3-4 years. They're coming in, they have this entire narrative surrounding her. On top of that, she's getting all these lucrative deals when essentially you may be a better player at the time too. I can see where the frustration lies. Think about it. That's like a new person coming taking over your spot for the show. You'll be like, who is this and why are you here? I can understand that.
And I can see the frustration from Stewie, because Stewie, she won it 4 times in the NCAA. Right. And she didn't win any, but she didn't even get any lucrative deals because of that.
Right. So I can understand, but like I said, even going back with the whole Caitlin Clark thing, she's just going to have to learn how to adapt. Adaptability, honestly, is an athlete's biggest thing, or not, I don't even want to use the word thing, but I think that shows the biggest sign of maturity in an athlete. Whenever you're, regardless of what system, what situation you get put in, you can adapt and you know how to move accordingly to not only help you personally, but help the team as a whole.
Would you also say like hard criticism as well?
Of course, criticism, constructive criticism is not bad. Constructive criticism is to help you. If somebody's criticizing you a lot of the time, it's because they see something in you and they want you to excel from that. But we can continue to go into criticism. We can go into a lot more as we come back from commercial break with Sydney's on the clock. I love this outro.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements, and that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Embrace the luxury, safety, and comfort of Mazda with 0% financing at Team Mazda. Right now, get 0% financing on any new Mazda CX-5, Mazda CX-30, Mazda CX-50, or Mazda CX-90. The savings are here at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
And we are back after commercial break. This is Christopher Williams. I was about to say call you something completely different. Jesus. And Sydney Coulier with Sydney's on the clock. Chris wanted to quickly touch on college football and how HBCUs are now getting a new shine.
Ooh, I'm so excited. This has been 10 years in the making. Like, just seeing the trailer of it, team builder.
But you got to tell the audience what it is.
Well, College Football 25 is college football. It's not from the NCAA, but it's going to have 134 teams, team builder, road to glory, a lot of things. But this is different because I've been waiting for this since I was 10 or 12 years old. But now that we have this, ooh.
And for those who generally don't know what he's talking about, still, it is a video game. And now it is a video game, which are now implementing HBCU culture. And honestly, I love it. It can't get no better than that, especially since we're 2 HBCU products right here. So it means and touches a lot to us. But I know he's wanted to touch on somebody else as well, too.
Simone Augustus.
Yes.
Said she is the new assistant coach for LSU under Kim Mulkey.
Honestly, I think that's great. I think it's one of those things to where Kim hasn't played in a long time. Augustus has. And not to mention, she's not no regular player. She's one of the most decorated players of all time.
Hall of Famer,
I mean,
Olympian.
for men and women, decorated. She has a lot of accolades under her belt, and I think especially giving somebody who just recently came out the league is now coming to literally teach or coach at her alma mater it's a full circle moment. It's one of those things where a lot of people want to do. It's like, dang, my alma mater is literally one of the best teams in the country. I can go back and give them, like, they did what I wanted. Because she never had a national championship.
No.
She had 4 Final Four appearances, but never had a national championship. And now she can contribute to that to see people who can genuinely want it as much as she did.
But I'm going to say she also brought an important look to LSU women's basketball and men's basketball as well. Like with Tyrus Thomas, he brought revenue for LSU. But this is a good learning experience for Flau'jae Johnson and Nisa Morrow to learn how to be a pro when that time comes.
Right.
And it builds them as a person, as a player, or how they need to conduct themselves as well.
Of course. And like I said, it's just one of those things where I can see nothing but beneficial things, or I can't see anything but things being beneficial for the team, for the players, with now her being added to the coaching staff. But Chris, I'm leaving.
I know, Sid.
I'm leaving. Are you going to miss me?
I am, Sid. I am.
Are y'all going to miss me? But guess what? I'm not going to be going. Like I said, this is going to be virtual. We're going to make it work. It will be through phone call. Like I mentioned, Chris will be holding down the fort while I'm away. But I'm going to still be here because this is definitely Sydney's on the clock. Remember that, right? I'm joking. So I'm just so excited. Like I said, this is honestly just a full circle moment. Something I've wanted so much. And then especially because I'm literally going to be at the headquarters. I'm going to be able to meet and talk to so many people who I need to make and build those connections, because we're in an industry. It's not what you know. It's who you know.
It's
very
the connections.
much. It's who you know. Who can speak on your behalf when you're not in the room? Who can sit there and vouch for you? And I can't, honestly, it's just one of those things where it's a full circle moment.
You can't
especially
describe
because I've worked my tail off since I came into this industry, and it's getting noticed. So I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this has been an amazing episode. My last in person for a minute. It is Sydney Couye
and Chris Williams
with Sydney's on the Clock signing out.
God bless.